Here we are at the Blue Water
Film Festival.
Blue Water Film Festival. Thank you, sir. I'm kind of brain-drained. It's been a long week.
That's okay.
Still jet-lagged from last weekend.
Sure.
Blue Water Film Festival in Port Huron, Michigan, with Douglas Schulze, who is the did you write the script as well as direct it?
Co-writer.
Co-writer and director. What other titles do you have?
Producer.
Producer of an incredible film, Mimesis.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know, Mimesis is a Greek word, I believe, for from which we get the word mime and such. Mimic, imitation, mimic, exactly. So. And it was a beautiful homage, whatever you want to call it, to the wonderful film Night of the Living Dead. And I was blown away how you took that and created this. How long? When did you first come up with this concept?
About 2 years ago. The idea was percolating, if you will, and I've always been a big fan of the Romero film, so excuse me, I had always tried to think of a way to pay homage, if you will, to the film, and certain elements just kind of fell into place, and I developed a treatment, and then I worked with a co-writer, and it was about a 1.5 year process for until we got the first draft. So. And where did you film it? Very close to the festival, which is why we chose to come here and premiere it. And it's the Port Huron area. We were looking for a rural farm that represented the farm from the original Romero film. So. Yeah. And you had Sid Haig in the movie. How did you get him? Sid's a great guy. We contacted his agent, and we were really motivated to work with him. Always been a fan of Sid's films from way back when, all the way up through the Rob Zombie films, his appearance in Tarantino's films, and so forth. But the role of the character that Sid ended up playing was, I don't want to say it was written for him, but he was our first choice. And I wasn't certain whether we'd have the opportunity to work with him because we were working with a limited budget.
Right.
And Sid was really impressed with the writing, and had a great conversation with him on the phone, and he hopped on board, so it was really wonderful.
I don't know, but I would just about bet he's a fan of Night of the Living Dead too.
Yeah,
I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Who else was involved in the film?
Well, we've got Courtney Gaines, most known for Children of the Corn, playing in The Burbs and some other wonderful films. Then we have Gavin Grazier, who's in The Grinch, Frost Nixon, cast primarily, is a great actor, and I, wanted the opportunity to work with him. So, and then some local Michigan area actors as well.
Right. Yep. How did you do the casting? Did you pick out the ones, obviously with Sid, you already knew you wanted him. What about with some of the rest of them?
Well, of course, there's, when you see the film, there's, I don't want to give away anything, but we base some of our casting choices around a pre-existing film.
Right.
So we were certainly...
It's Night of the Living Dead, we already know this.
So we, we sought out actors that both had, great acting chops, but in addition, bared resemblance in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So
yeah, I noticed
the
that.
Characters, yeah. So
it's hard not to notice it in some cases.
Exactly. So.
What challenges did you find in doing an independent film?
Well, the traditional ones, there's always the challenge for the funding source. And then there's just really executing your vision without too much compromise. when you're working with such a limited budget, it's difficult to sometimes achieve what you want special effects wise, or even the shooting days, you can only go so many hours when you're limited with your cast and so forth. So challenges really all stem from limitations financially for an independent filmmaker. Right. So
yeah, some of the special effects were very good. How did you come up with the truck blowing up? You had to do that.
Of course.
How did you come up with folks to do that in this area?
Oh, we just sought out a local pyrotechnician and found a vintage vehicle that was from the same era as the film, and that was a challenge. Finding props that were from the era, the late '60s. That was a bit of a challenge for our art department. But they did a wonderful job and pulled through for us. So yeah.
When did you decide you were going to do this?
Well, when the funding was in place.
Okay.
So yeah, we wanted to make the film for well over a year and a half, but it wasn't until we had our funding in place that we decided to proceed. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been? Is this your first film, or?
No. I did I've done some other films. I just finished a film last year. Well, actually, it was over a year ago. Put out, the initial working title was The Rain, and it was later renamed Dark Fields, and it starred David Carradine. So it was one of David Carradine's last films, actually. Wow. So it was a real pleasure working with him. And the film's out now on DVD, and it's going to be airing on Showtime within the next few months. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So how do you have a distributor for Mimesis at this point?
No, not yet. The plan is to do things a bit differently. As independent filmmakers, it's hard to really get rich, and we're going to go about things differently. Mimesis is set up actually as more than one picture, and we feel the first picture, we've done it, and we now want to take it to a studio and say, here's the first one, and let's talk about the next few. So that's our hope anyway.
Yeah, I've been reading Lloyd Kaufman's book, Sell Your Own Damn Movie, and I have a better understanding how the difficulty of selling a movie.
Yes, yeah. Well, everyone makes money, when films sell, but filmmakers, these days. So it's a very tough time for independent filmmakers to make money with their movies. So it's a challenge.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. I think you got a great movie here, though.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot.
One question for you. And this is kind of an odd question. If there were one question I could ask that would elicit the most amazing story from you, what would that story be about the making of this film? Something just blow me away interesting.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Well, there were incidents that would occur on set, but to be quite honest, accidents occur on all film sets. I can tell you a harrowing tale.
Sounds good.
When the truck exploded, there's a man in the truck, right, and there's a stuntman in the truck, and his name is Rick Shaw.
Really?
That's his name. Yes.
I love it.
And Rick was, doused in a lot of fire retardant, and very skilled stuntman. But we did 2 separate takes. The first take was the truck exploding, and then the firemen came in and extinguished the truck, and then we had to rig it for a second explosion. Okay. And in this one, once the flames start and we're rolling on action, Rick runs into frame and literally just reaches his hand in the truck bed because he's all gelled up and touches some flame, and he goes up, and he literally, instead of running around, he climbs into the driver's seat because we want the shot to be authentic, to see him coming from the driver's seat. So The truck had burned in the previous take for so long that the truck bed beneath it had so burnt out that there wasn't much of a truck bed. So when Rick sat in the front seat of the car, the truck bed collapsed, and Rick was trapped inside the burning pickup truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it wasn't funny, you know, it was definitely very, very frightening for a moment there. But he was able to get out of the truck, and when he gets out of the truck, he's immediately put out because he'd been on fire for, and we'd said the flame retardant was about 30 seconds long, and we'd gone for about 30 seconds. So yeah, so it was it was quite an evening for us.
Very, very impressive. Is there anything you'd like to say in close?
You know, I mean, support the film Mimesis. We feel it's a unique horror film in a day when most filmmakers are going towards special effects driven films. We feel that our edge is the story. So
yeah, very good story. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks guys.
Yep.